Hi guys, welcome to this video. As promised, I just wanted to make a quick video to explain to you a bit more about the write-up for your assignment. And I also just want to go through how to get the highest possible grade, and also just briefly show you an investigation from the last assignment that we did that got a really good grade. So first of all, let's just go over the assignment again. So remember, there's a few different parts to it. So part A is about investigating a square cake tin. So everything that you do is just a square. And when you do part A, you need to look at least 3 other values of L. So you need to start off with 5 centimeters. So that's the width of this original square that you start with. You need to look at least 3 others. And then you need to present a conjecture. Okay, so that's a relationship between the length L and the square of size X centimeters that will give you maximum volume. Okay, so that's one conjecture. In part B, what you're going to do is look at a rectangular piece of tin plate. So now we're not talking about a square anymore. So what you'll be doing in this, looking at rectangles that have side lengths in a particular ratio. So one side is twice as big as the other, or that's the one to start with, or you could do 3 times as big as the other, or 4 times as big as the other. It's up to you. And then working through those ratios, you need to again find a conjecture. So we're developing a conjecture about the relationship between X and the lengths of the sides of the rectangle. Okay, so we're looking at, in part A, a square, in part B, a rectangle. And then this further extension, what you need to do is actually prove using calculus one or both of the conjectures that you've found in either of those parts. Now, I would strongly suggest that you try that just for part A. And in fact, I'm happy for you to, if you want to get an A grade, you really do need to do this extension part, but I'm happy for you to do that just for part A in order to get an A grade. Doing that for part B is actually quite difficult. So let's just have a quick look at what you need to actually put in your investigation. You need to start off with an outline of the problem and the context. So you need to tell us what the problem is and why it's interesting and why you are trying to solve it. You need to actually describe what you have done in terms of your mathematical modeling and strategy. Then you need to actually show your application of the maths. So this is where you show all of your working out and your calculations, okay? And as you do those calculations, you need to interpret your results as you go. Then finally, you need to give your results and conclusions in the context of the problem. Hello there. He's come to look. And finish up with a bibliography and appendices. Okay, so what we'll do now is just go down and have a look at the rubric, which is something you probably don't spend a lot of time looking at, but it's actually it's how we grade you, and it tells you how to get the best possible grade. So what we're going to do is have a look at the A grade part of that. And each one of these criteria has a sort of a B and a C and a D and an E grade version as well. But we want you to aim for an A. If you don't quite get there, that's fine, but I'll show you how to get an A. So first of all, you need to show a comprehensive knowledge and understanding of concepts and relationships. So you need to understand the actual mathematical concepts comprehensively and show me that that's your understanding. You need to select and apply mathematical techniques and algorithms to find efficient and accurate solutions to routine and complex problems in a variety of contexts. So this one is all about your actual mathematical abilities. It's about getting the right answers, okay? Efficient and accurately. Efficient means using the best possible mathematical technique. Accurate means getting the right answers. You need to successfully develop and apply mathematical models to find concise and accurate solutions. This is a bit similar. Models means that you are using some maths to represent a real life situation. So in this case, this is about using maths to represent a cake tin. Okay, so again, this is about how you apply your maths, doing it in the most efficient way possible and getting the answers right. And then the last one here is about using electronic technology. So in the case of this investigation, this is about solving the quadratic formula using electronic technology, which would be your graphics calculator. So this is really just about using your calculator properly in order to get the right answer. Okay, now so this is all about the actual maths that you have to do. Over on the other side, the right-hand side, this is where the investigations really come into their own, because this is about how you interpret the results, how you write about them, and that side of things. So the first one here, comprehensive interpretation of mathematical results in the context of the problem. What that means is that when you get your results, so your optimum values of x, you need to show me that you understand how those results relate to the context of the problem. So in this case, the context of the problem is optimizing the volume of a cake tin. So you need to link all of your results back to that cake tin problem. So don't just tell me something about X, tell me what that means if you are building a cake tin, okay? Second point here, drawing logical conclusions from mathematical results with a comprehensive understanding of their reasonableness and limitations. So this means when you get your results, you actually need to make the right conclusions. Okay, so accurate logical conclusions. Reasonableness and limitations means that, let's say if you got a result that said that your cake tin was only 1 centimetre deep. Well, no one wants to eat a cake that's 1 centimetre deep. That's a limitation, or that's reasonableness. Okay, reasonableness is also about whether your answers make sense mathematically. So we want you to just explain how you understand your answers. This next criteria is about how you use your mathematical notation, representations, and terminology. So this is about using accurate notation when you're showing me you're working out, but it's also about when you're talking about your results using correct mathematical language to describe them, okay? The next one here, highly effective communication of mathematical ideas and reasoning to develop logical and concise arguments. So what this is about is your actual writing. So when you are writing your investigation, you need to actually describe your reasoning and your ideas and your arguments in a very effective way. So that means it needs to be readable. I need to be able to read it and have it make sense, okay? And then this very last one here, effective development and testing of valid conjectures. Well, this assignment's all about making conjectures. So this means they need to be valid. They need to be conjectures that make sense. And your development and testing of the conjectures needs to be effective. So this means you've tried lots of different combinations to show that the conjecture appears to be true. And so you've tested it. Okay, so I hope that helps. What I want to do now is just quickly show you an example of an A grade assignment from the last investigation that we did, mainly just to show you how much writing is involved, because in the last investigation, a lot of people didn't write enough in their answers. So if we have a look here, the student's given quite an in-depth introduction explaining the problem and the method that they're going to be using in order to do it. Okay, so they've actually described what they were going to do. Then they've given the tables and the graphs, which most of you did quite well in that last investigation. But when they've come to give their conjecture, not only have they given the conjecture, but they've sort of described when it applies, that it was consistent, and then they've described a limitation on the conjecture. So think back to that rubric. Now they're talking about a limitation. Okay. Now they've described what they're going to do next. They've done some more. From here, they've described more about what they've done about their maths. They've described what they're going to do next. And now they've come up with another conjecture. And they've said that the previous conjecture still applied, so they're giving some ongoing commentary. And they've said something about the reasonableness of the conjecture, so it's accurate for more polynomials than what they just started with. They looked at some more, they looked at some more. And they have stated here that the original conjecture doesn't apply, so they're coming up with limitations again. And then in the conclusions, they've written quite a bit here, okay? So they've talked about the limitations again, another rule. So they've actually given me quite a lot of detail. So that's just what I wanted to show you guys. If you are heading for a high grade, you actually need to write quite a bit, and you need to think back to all of these criteria and try and address all of those, okay? Please make sure if you can finish your investigation a few days early, I'm happy to draft it for you. So make sure you show me or send it to me so that I can have a look. Okay, thank you for watching and good luck.